Yo, what's going on guys? This is Nebula and I'm going to be taking you through all the best settings for Season 23 in Apex Legends. If you enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, without further ado, let's jump straight into this. So let's go straight in with Interact Prompt Style. Have this set to compact. If you have this set to default, it just gives you way too much information. That is too much of a pain in the backside. Like, that is too much information. But that's compact, license small. Next up, we've got button hints. Unless you're new to the game, you don't really need this popping up on the screen. I personally would have this turned off. Keeps it nice and small and easy to recognize. Next up, crosshair damage. Have this turned off. I find that once again, having this on, it's just making more screen chatter. You don't need that on your screen. It's not actually going to help you. At the end of the day, you got things like the health bar and all that. So yeah, I would keep this personally turned off. Next up, we got damage numbers. Now you can turn this off if you want to. I actually found that it was actually better to still have this because I was still able to make callouts about how much damage I had done, which also sometimes was more helpful than people just looking at health bars. So I recommend you keep the numbers on because calling out the numbers is also healthy for the game, but also as well, it does just give your teammates, you know, that knowledge. And also it's also quite satisfying, especially when you like hit a Kraber shot and you're there, when you want to call out the damage that you've done. So yeah, and as well, if you're, you know, damage hunting, maybe you're looking for your 4K badge and you want to know how much bullets you're putting into people, this is how you can find out. So yeah, keep it on stacking, in my personal opinion. You can turn it off if you want though. Next up, enemy health bars. Definitely keep this on. You'll be at a disadvantage if you turn this off. It allows you to be able to see their health, and especially when your teammate is also shooting them, you'll be able to see how much damage they've done. Next up, we got ping optimicity. Make sure you have this set to faded. It means you'll be able to look through it in a distance if someone's spam pinging something. If you don't have it, you won't be able to see through it properly. Next up, enemy highlights. You have this set to enabled. It just means you're going to be able to see a little red line around them, which therefore means it's going to be easier to work out which person is your teammate and which person is the enemy. Really helpful in those situations when you're just, you know, close and personal, when you're not really sure what's going on. It's actually really good to be able to see who's a teammate and who is not. Next up, obituaries just shows you the kills or the deaths. Definitely keep this on. It's actually really good to have this information because you'll be able to look and work out, you know, how many people are alive, whether that was a fight you were just listening to, where the gunshots are coming from. Yeah, definitely worth keeping this on. Next up, minimap rotations. I have this on, and this means the minimap will move as I turn left to right as well. Really helpful. Auto weapon cycle on empty. I have this turned on. Basically means if you've got no bullets left in the chamber and you hit the trigger, it will therefore then swap to the next gun. You want to have that on because at the end of the day, if you've got no bullets left in your bag, you've got no bullets left in the chamber, you don't want to have to manually swap guns. Just literally have it set so that as soon as you hit that right trigger again or keyboard, it will automatically rotate to the next weapon. Next up, always sprint. I always have this on. It just means if I literally push forward on my analog stick, I automatically sprint. This will make your life so much easier, better for movement, better for reactions, and it also will save your analog's life. Yeah, we'll stop it from dying. So yeah, definitely keep that on. Next up, we've got auto run. Please, for the love of God, don't keep this on. I actually found this is more of a hindrance than help. There was too many times where I was actually jumping off of buildings and things like that. Yes, you might be able to, you know, push that forward and you could be lazy and, you know, not do anything, but there's too many times where it's just going to catch you out by accident and you're going to accidentally drop off a building because you push forward twice trying to like peek over the edge and then you've fallen off. It's not worth it, honestly. It's just literally just look in your bag if you want to keep running while sprinting. Don't bother with this. Next up, we've got the jetpack and glide control. I have this set to toggle. It's up to you at the end of the day. Obviously Lifeline has now gained it, which basically means if I press it twice, if I tap A twice now, you see she gets out of her drone. Best way to do it is you get a bit of height, a little glide, and of course if I'm Valkyrie, then I can just press it twice and then I float in the sky. But that's down to your personal preference, really. That one, I like it set to toggle. Incoming damage feedback, have this set to 3D. Taking damage closes death boxes and crafting menu. Please have this set to off. If you do have this on, you are not going to be able to armor swap. Don't have it on. Please turn it off. Next up, we got health and ammo pop-ups. Now this is a brand new one, and this is when you're running out of ammo, it starts popping up on the screen. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to show you in the range because of the fact that we oh wait, there we go. You'll now see in the bottom right just below me my ammo is flashing. I personally found this is actually really annoying. Now, I know for a fact there'll be a lot of new players that might be like, oh yeah, this is actually really helpful, and they're happy about that. That's brilliant. Cool. Keep it on. If you find that you're not looking at your health and you're not realizing that you're low on health, go for it. But personally, for somebody that's played this game since season 0, I am not really needing it. So I'm going to have that turned off. So experienced players, turn it off. New players, turn it on. Next up, we got health and ammo voice lines. I personally would keep this on because this will actually help people around you in your team know when you're low on ammo and things like that. So yeah, I personally think it's actually quite a good shout, to be honest. I quite like it. And also, it almost gives you a reminder as well if your ammo is quite low. So yeah, I would do that in my personal opinion rather than having the hop up and pop ups. But that's just me. You can keep them both on if you like. Next up, we've got off-screen portraits. I would turn this off personally because I find the off-screen portraits annoying, and it actually ends up having too much screen clutter. It's just too much going on with the screen. It's not worth it. I would turn it off. Next up, hop up and pop-ups. I would personally have this turned off. If you're new to the game, it basically just means if you pick up a hop up, it will tell you what it does. So if we picked up an RE, for example, and then I picked up ammo points, you can see below me, it tells you what it does. So maybe if you are newer to the game again, you might want to have that on, but I personally know the hop-ups at the back of my hand, so don't have that on. Streamer mode, I have this turned off. If you are a streamer and you want to actually have that on, you can probably turn that on, but it's only going to hide the people that are actually in like the obituaries and their legend banners, so it's actually nothing to do with you, it's to do with the other players around you, to stop them from getting abuse essentially. But anonymous mode is the one that's going to help you if you're a streamer and you don't want your name to be seen in the kill feed. So yeah, you can turn that on if you want to be hidden. Like myself, I don't actually give a toss. I will let people see that I am, like, you know, in their lobby. I don't care. It's actually quite fun. So yeah, I have it set to disable. Usage sharing, definitely have this set to enable, and to help EA basically help us out. Performance display, have this turned on. It basically means if we look above me, you'll be able to see my ping. It's worth doing because if you're in a lobby and you're confused why you're lagging, you can work out whether it's you or the game. Communications filter, I have it set to everybody. If you're new to the game or maybe you're younger, you might want to have that set to nobody so you don't have to listen to anybody. Reticle, I have mine set to a customize. If you want to copy me, have a little look at the numbers down there. I've got 72, 255 and 16, and that gives me that lovely green reticle. Good way to look is on the like the HCOG. Next up, we have the laser sight. I just kept this to default, but once again, if you want to copy 255, 45, and 13, as you can see below, I got a red one on because I thought red laser sight kind of makes sense, doesn't it? After that, colorblind mode, I would not have this turned on unless you actually need it. Don't bother if you don't have colorblind because it's just gonna, you know, it's just not needed really. There's no advantage. Subtitles, have this turned off. Subtitles size normal. Off. Disable voice chat unless you really want to make people shut up. I would personally have it off. You might want to have to communicate if you're playing solo queue. Convert incoming voice to text chat, I have this turned off. And then playing incoming text to speech, I have this turned off because I'm on console, and when you go into a private lobby, you get non-stop messages. Next up, we got like button layout. You can change this how you want. I have it set slightly differently. I think actually I've actually gone back to pretty much the normal controls, but I also do play with bumpers at the back, so that's my advantage of that. Stick layout, you can have it set to whatever you prefer. I have it set to default. That is just me. Interact and reload buttons, definitely have this tap to use and reload. It means it's going to be the quickest way for you to actually reload your gun and get back into the action. Crouch button, have this set to hold. If you had it set to toggle, you won't be able to bunny hop. You won't be able to do this. So yeah, if you want to actually have that slick movement and be able to move easily, you need to have that set to hold. It takes a little bit to get used to, but yeah, it's really, really good. Aim button, definitely have to set to hold because no one wants to have toggle while aiming down their sight. You want to be able to just press that trigger and it'll zoom in straight away. Survival slot, you want to have this on. It basically means you press down on the D-pad, I'm pretty sure it is, for controller, and you can then bring out your heat shield, for example, therefore not having to go into your back. After that, we got trigger dead zone. Please have this set to none. This basically means as soon as you tap the trigger, it's going to react. Menu sensor speed, this is how quickly you're going to loot in a box, so you need to have this at a fairly decent speed. I've got mine about halfway. You can have it faster, but don't have it too slow, or you're not going to be able to do effective armor swaps. After that, we've got sensitivity. Now, you can use the normal senses. I use ALC. I just released a video for the best ALC settings, in my opinion, for season 23. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on my channel. It'll be in the outro as well. But yes, so we've got anything you can set on there you want. I use ALCs. Movement dead zone, definitely have to set to small. Basically means as soon as I push my left analog stick forward, I'm going to move. Inverted look, I have this turned off. Vibrations, I really recommend you have this turned off. It's going to throw you off. And then, yeah, I mean, if you can use normal sense or you can use advanced look controls like I'm doing, yeah, I go more in depth on my actual video. Brightness, I have it set by 1, slightly above. Field of view, I have it on 110, biggest possible, most view I can see. Field of view ability scaling, I have this set to disabled, so then that way my FOV doesn't get changed when I go into abilities. Sprint view shake, I have it set to minimal. It means when I'm sprinting, my screen's not going to shake at all. Graphics mode, if you're on console like myself, you want to have it on performance. If you can, it gives you 120 FPS. You want more FPS, trust me, you really do. And last but not least, we've got audio. I have my audio slightly turned lower because my headphones are actually a little bit more sensitive. Therefore, I actually end up deafening myself on 100. So I've actually turned it down a little bit, but I would keep it to 100 personally. After that, open mic threshold. I've changed mine slightly. I don't really go into game chat, but you could change it to what I've done if you like. And then after that, we got sound effects volume 100%. Dialogue volume 100%. Music, up to you. You can have it on. I have it turned off. Lobby music, I have it set to 10%, so it's not overpowering. Game volume while spectating. This is a new one. You could turn this down. On that note, actually, I'm actually going to turn it down slightly because I keep forgetting to do this. So I'm going to turn that down to 50. And then last but not least, we've got emote preview sound. I'm going to have this on. It just means when you're in the lobby and you're looking around at like emotes and stuff, you'll actually be able to hear the preview sound. If you don't have it on, you're not going to be able to hear it. Apart from that, guys, that is literally everything. If you have enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe. And apart from that, guys, I'm going to shut up and I'll see you all in the next video.